Good morning. Hey, it's Maria Quattrone, and this morning I talked to you about, I made a little mock up here, Fearless Female Leaders. So this is the book copy of the front of the cover, and I put this on another book. So I want to talk to you today about the multi-author book. Came up with doing this book. Actually decided in the beginning of the year I wanted to write a book. And I thought, wow, that sounds like a lot. That sounds a little difficult. And when am I going to get the time to do it? So I met this woman, Adriana, who's a publisher, and I saw that this is what she did. This is what she does. And I talked with her and I came up with this idea to do this book called Fearless Female Leaders, Their Untold Stories Revealed. So what does that mean? That is, are you a woman who is in a leadership role, whether that is you're an entrepreneur or in a C-suite or a leader in the community, or quite frankly, a leader of your family? And why tell your story? All of us need to tell our stories. We all have a story, and our stories are what make us unique. Our stories are what help others. It helps others to get through what they're going through. And so I've been talking to a lot of people about the book, and a couple things that come up. One is time. Oh my God, I don't have time to write a chapter in the book. It's going to take me, I'm so busy. I have so much on my plate. Oh, or, if you're in real estate, the market's changing. Okay, so I understand all of it. So number one, we give you the time because you physically do not have to write your chapter. Now, if you want to write your chapter, you can write your chapter. But I said, for the people that are going to be involved in this book, they are very, very busy women. And they may not have the time to sit down and write their chapter about their story. So we have an interviewer who will interview you, your chapter. Can't see it taking more than an hour-ish of your time. And then you get the info back once they write it all up. You get to make your edits, and then it goes back, gets sent to the editor. So time should not be an issue not to do a book, because we can always find the time. In fact, we made the time for you. So that's number one. Number two, I don't think that I'm fearless. Oh, gosh, you are fearless. You are fearless. My friend said to me the other night, I don't know if I'm fearless. I'm like, you close 200 units a year. You've been doing it for 20 years. You are fearless. And the fearless part comes in the fact that we feel the fear and we do it anyway. We do the things that we're scared of and that might be hard. And that is where leadership comes in. That is where you shine. So doing the hard things, doing the things anyway, even if you are fearful, is what the book is all about. So some of the other things that come up, a lot of people think I want to interview them for my book. No, this is a multi-author collaboration book. It is an opportunity to tell your story. It's an opportunity to use this as a platform for your marketing, to build your authority brand in the marketplace. There's a lot of benefits. You leave a legacy. How about impacting somebody's life? I mean, one of the things that for me that what I'm destined to do is impact people. That's why I have the scholarship program. Right now we have 8 students who are in it. Actually, there's 7 attending class right now, Rise in Real Estate Academy. And that is my passion, is to leave an impact on people. And Somebody helped us along the way, and it's our responsibility to help others along the way. And we can do that through storytelling, through writing, through just being open and giving somebody a hand up that needs it. There's so many people in the world right now who they're suffering. They're not in a good spot, and they need to hear your story. And all of our stories are unique. They all are special. We are all unique. Our story is what makes us who we are. People always say, well, what would you change? I said, I don't think I want to change anything. I want to change anything. Because if I had not had that experience, and one of the experiences that I'm going to talk about in my part of the book is my exit from my former company and what happened with that and the impact that it had on me negatively for several years. And I struggled through a major depression that nobody knew about. So I want to get very emotional right now, but telling your story and your voice being heard is extremely important in today. I think the pandemic has caused a lot of people are hurting. They're not in a good place. It's time that we as women, we stand up. It's time that we stop thinking small and we start thinking big. It's time that we pull off the Band-Aid, rip off the massive big Band-Aid that we have on and show who we are and step into your power and into your light. And so by participating in the multi-author book collaboration, Fearless Female Leaders, their untold stories revealed, it gives you the platform to do just that. So some of the other things that come up, yes, there is a cost involved in producing a book is very costly. Marketing a book to become an Amazon bestseller costs money. So there are two different packages in order to participate in the book. But I think about it like you go to a conference, you're at the conference, you may or may not do anything with that information. A lot of times people don't do anything with the information. In fact, I sit in all these different conferences. I go to some that are extremely powerful and some that, are just, they're okay. But I sit there and I watch everybody and everybody is on their phone. The people are talking on stage and they're going right like this. But we'll spend thousands of dollars to go to a conference and more thousand to stay in a hotel and in airfare. So now we're $5,000 plus in, not including food or drink or anything. And I know people that do these 5 and 10 times a year, but they don't have a book. So the reason also to do the multi-author book first and do a chapter about your story is hopefully it will build the confidence for you to have your own book someday. And that's a legacy that you can leave behind to your children. Or if you don't have children, like I don't have children, but I will leave it behind to other people in our community and in real estate. And not only that, you think about all the impact that you can have in the world by being part of a book. And, here it says here, author name. You could have your name here on the cover. I don't know. That's pretty impressive. And be pretty ecstatic. I am jazzed because I'm doing this book and then I am doing 2 other books. I already have my ideas down. So I'm just waiting to put that out there. So, some of the people said, well, you're in real estate, this and I go, I don't have real estate. I have a mortgage company in real estate. We're doing a joint venture with a title company. I'm opening an insurance company this year and we'll be in the book business as well. So there's no shortage of ways to be an entrepreneur. And I love to hear your journey and I love to hear your story. And if you're watching this and you know a fearless female who should be part of this book, you can reach out to me. You can put in the comments. You can direct message me on Facebook. I'll get you all the information over. We are enrolling for the month of July. I hope to have this wrapped up by the end of the month. And then we'll be scheduling the interview sometime in August. This book will be launching in October of this year, so we'll be promoting it. Once you register to be part of the book, we are going to do a Facebook Live and YouTube Live and get your story out there. And I'm going to ask, why did you want to be part of it? And what are some of the highlights of your story that you're going to share in the book? And so there's going to be lots of marketing around it, lots of excitement. And you could take this, and there's so many different ways that you can utilize this book to make money. It's not just something that's going to sit, on the shelf, or you're going to just order them and give them to your friends. I mean, if say you're in real estate, this is something like every single person client or agent that works in your company, you would present to them. They should know your story. In fact, let me tell you a story. I was going to wrap up, but I'm not ready yet. So every time we have a new class start, I tell them my story from basically when I was 5 years old up until now. I tell them about, selling the pet rocks, and about going door to door and selling not magazines. I always say that, magazines, but selling wrapping paper and Christmas cards, Hanukkah cards, door to door. I don't think I was 10 years old, but I lived in Northeast Philly, and I would knock on the door, and I would ask them if they were interested in buying wrapping paper or holiday cards. And I did this for a couple of years, and every item that I sold, I made $1 from the item. And then I would go to the church bazaar. I went to Catholic school, so I went to the church bazaar, and I would buy presents for my family. So that's what was important to me. So people say, "Oh, real estate." I said, "I've been knocking doors since I've been 10. And then there's the Girl Scout cookies, and there's the selling the lemonade and popcorn on the street, the corner, and all these crazy things that I did. I started being an entrepreneur when I was probably 7. So either it's in your blood or it isn't. And so I tell my journey to all of our new agents. So I had I talked about the journey the other day. Today's Friday. This week I'm all messed up because it's a short week. Anyway, on Tuesday, our RIRA started, which is a Rise in Real Estate Academy. And that's for all new agents. So we have 7 that are in our class right now. It lasts for 2 weeks. But on the first day of class, I spent about an hour and a half, and I go through my story and my journey. And I wanted to share that with them because I want them to know that there was a day that I wasn't in real estate, that I never sold a house, that I didn't have a team, I didn't have a company, I didn't have dozens of couples, or what we have now, probably about 30 people in our organizations. And there was a day where it was just me. And it was a day when I was selling radio, and I tell them about some of my experiences growing up and some of the hardships that I went through. And, I think it's important for people to know that you can do it too, that anybody can do it. That we all have it within ourselves to do whatever we want to do. But until you decide that what you have isn't what you want, and you're going to change what you're doing to get it, it won't change. Because what we have right now is what we've settled for. It's 100% what we've settled for. And I'm done saying small. I'm done. And then people say, "You're not small." I said, well, there's so many things that I want to do. And even right now, I'm on talking to everybody on Facebook Live. Definitely not an easy thing to do. But I want to get the message out there. I feel the message is more important than my fear. The message and the mission is more important than my fear. And I'm not going to be one that's a coward to get my message out there. So, how can you participate? in the multi-author book. All you need to do is to message me or drop somebody's name in here that you think that should be in, and I can reach out to them. But message me and I can send you the information of what you get when you're in the book. I'm going to go on every week and talk about this. So if there's any questions, you can also drop them here in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them afterwards. But I'm so excited to share my journey. And every time I tell the story, I do actually start to cry because it's very, very emotional. And some things that happened have been very traumatic. But here I am, and I'm here with you, and I'm so darn excited. And I have this week, I think there's 3 or 4 that are signing up. So that's exciting. Yes, I just got Candace's info, and there's a few others that should be registering today. So we'll be announcing that. So it is starting to take and make a movement. So super duper excited. Thanks so much for listening today. I hope this was helpful in learning about why I'm doing the multi-author book. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And everybody have a wonderful weekend.